At sporting events, some fans' recklessness puts themselves in positions to get caught doing foolish and utterly stupid acts. Recall this at the US Open, where one TikToker captured an older white man writing in a text, "Actually, this is funny. All the black people are leaving now after Serena Williams' exit." The blue text would read, "Does lesbian porn count?" In the next TikTok, the man replies, "Only white people left here." It went viral, with one creator who worked for Serena discussing how the level of hate she received in a predominantly white sport is atrocious. One fan also got caught. This time he snapped photos of Lions cheerleaders' backside. So blatant, so obvious, and still, with no shame, this dude carries out what his head is thinking. He wouldn't be alone, though.
Good evening, and welcome to Tom Petty Day at the Swamp, presented by T-Mobile. Tonight's game features the LSU Tigers.
This camera operator did what the Lions fan did. The only difference, the man in this video is getting paid to do it. Even in the media, there are huge hurdles.
The runner accused of slapping a reporter on her behind on live TV is speaking out today.
I was caught up in the moment.
I spoke to Tommy Calloway in his first interview since video of his behavior went viral.
Take me back to that moment. What were you thinking?
I was getting ready to bring my hands up and wave to the camera and to the audience. And there was a misjudge in character and decision making. I touched her back. I did not know exactly where I touched her.
The reporter, Alex Bazargian, was covering a run for her station in Savannah, Georgia.
I think what it really comes down to is that he helped himself to a part of my body.
Appearing on CBS This Morning, she said she hasn't decided if she's willing to accept the runner's apology.
He took my power, and I'm trying to take that back. Whether I am open to it or not.
Like Tommy Calloway, a runner from Georgia, who slapped WSAV-TV reporter Alex Bazargian's rear end on live TV. Even former NFL MVP Cam Newton has thoughts on women in sports.
Devin Funchess has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes, like, it's funny.
In 2012, Newton called another female reporter sweetheart.
Or if you are the #1 play-by-play broadcaster in the country, like Brent Musburger, you can get away with it, amongst other things.
Coach Kelly, who I know very well, now down at LSU, having left Notre Dame, I still tease him that when he got blown out by Alabama in that national championship game, I took all the heat off him because I called a beauty queen beautiful, and that I was the villain that night in the eyes of many, especially the woke journalists with some of the papers.
Total Pro Sports would write of the Lions fan, "When you're a fan of that team, it's very easy to pay attention to everything except the team." One fan at Ford Field was more in tune with the cheerleading squad than he was with his team that was playing the hated Green Bay Packers. A fan behind him caught the action as he recorded a cheerleader on the field, which reminds us of Formula One. When Lewis Hamilton crashed at the Austrian Grand Prix, along with George Russell, fans cheered in excitement. However, that same event via The Guardian would be marred by fan behavior citing sexist catcalling, homophobic abuse, and inappropriate touching of female fans, as well as use of racial slurs. Reports indicated it got so bad a female Lewis Hamilton fan was invited into the garage after Team Mercedes learned she'd been harassed. RaceFans.net reported her dress was lifted by drunk spectators who told her she didn't deserve respect because she was a Hamilton fan. Sports and sexism are unfortunately nothing new. Almost 2/3 of elite British female athletes have experienced sexism in sports, but the vast majority did not feel able to report it, wrote the BBC. In their British Sports Women's Survey, 65% of respondents had suffered sexism, but only 10% reported it. The figures have worsened over the past 5 years since the last survey was carried out. In 2015, 41% had suffered sexism, with 7% reporting it. Researchers at Durham University found, after conducting a survey featuring 1,950 male football fans using 150 online message boards, the research team discovered openly misogynistic attitudes towards women's sports among respondents. Notably, misogynistic tendencies remain constant regardless of the users' ages. Yet some of the overt group, 68% of those polled, suggested women should not participate in sport at all, or if they did, would be better suited to more feminine pursuits such as athletics rather than football. Media reporting of women's sports, a sphere regarded as intrinsically inferior, was seen as positive discrimination or PC nonsense.